Good evening, Down Under Traveller Winter Academy program players and athletes. Hope everybody's doing outstandingly well. Tony Harris here again. I just thought I'd check in and follow up on my first video. I think was the first week of the program, and we mentioned things along the lines of being focused, not wasting the time down at the field, ensuring that you get what you want to get out of this program and what you want to get out of the session, setting some goals, writing those goals down, reviewing those goals, and maybe tweaking those goals and celebrating those little wins when you achieve that goal, and understanding that there can be a goal within that training session on that one Tuesday night, or there can be goals for the week per se, or there could be a goals for the month or the total program goals. So just a little reminder, and probably just keeping you accountable. One, do you have the goals? Two, have you written them down? Are they in a format where you can see them regularly? Every time you open up your journal to go to the field, or it's in your kit bag, they might be laminated, I think I suggested, or get them in a book where you can see something that you might write down after each session, what was good about that session or what you need to improve on, etc. Just so that you are making yourself accountable, but also getting the maximum value out of this particular program. We don't want you wasting your time, and we really want to try and help you and customize the program so that you're getting what you want to get out of the sessions that you're having down with the coaches. The other thing I wanted to talk about tonight is really failure within the game. You know, baseball is a game of failure. We talk about baseballers and Hall of Famers failing 7 times out of 10. That's a pretty famous sort of line, that for a hitter to hit 300, if you do the math on that, that means he's successful 3 times out of 10 in getting a base hit or a safe hit. Not on base percentage, not that, we're not going there, but just we're keeping it real simple and real basic. Means we're going to fail as a hitter 7 times out of 10. This game is huge as far as failure. But a pitcher, there's so much, or a position player, there's so much failure involved in the game that we need to understand and have a good relationship, I guess, with failure. And learning in this game, as young as most of the athletes are in this program, that just accepting that, hey, failure is a big part of this game. If the Hall of Famers at the major league level fail 7 times out of 10, well, if I go to at bat 7 times out of 10, 10 times, and I fail 6 or 7 times out of 10 and get 3 base hits and get a walk and maybe get on an error and get on by a hit pitch or whatever, I'm doing my job. I'm doing a pretty good damn job. So understand that, and also understand that there's going to be a lot of failure that you need to deal with. Accept it. I think by accepting failure in this game helps us reduce the stress level of it. Because as we fail through the game, if we're not accepting it, and we're like on ourselves too much about it, well, then we become very stressed. And we also have probably unrealistic expectations of our productivity level within the game. And without getting too techo about it or too wordy about it, just learn that there's a lot of failure within this game, and we probably have to embrace it and expect it. We don't look for it. It's not a goal of ours, but when it happens, we understand that it is a big part of the game. What I like to think is, and in life, whether it be on the field as you get older, or you're in coaching, or you're in scouting, but you guys and girls are young players. When things don't work out the way they should on the field, I'd like you to maybe ask yourself a couple of questions. Is, what's good about this situation? Now, if you look at it and go, oh, I didn't get a guy in from second base, with a base hit, or I didn't move a guy over offensively, or I didn't make a quality pitch to strike the guy out or get a ground ball, double play, or whatever. So in your mind, or in the team's mind, you didn't execute, so it would be considered somewhat of a small failure. And you can look at that and go, oh, well, I let myself down and get all stressed about it. Or you can look at it and ask this one question, like I just said, what's good about this situation? What did I learn from this situation? What lessons are there in there that I can learn from, and then I can gather with a growth mindset and an open mindset, and I can continue to get better. So what can I learn from it, from this particular at bat that I didn't execute? Or what can I learn from this last inning that I pitched and I just couldn't get guys out, or I just couldn't get the guys out when I needed to get them out? By you being a little bit open-minded, or more open-minded with that growth mindset, as opposed to a closed mindset and just say, I did this and I let the team down and stress and dump it on my own shoulders. Well, then I'm not, next time I go to bat, or next time I get on the mound to pitch, or next time I go out to play the field, I'm going to have a really bad attitude and a really bad mindset. Whereas if I can look at a situation and go, hey, what's good about this? Firstly, I'm asking myself a real positive question. I'm not asking myself, why couldn't I get that guy over, or why couldn't I get that guy out, or why couldn't I do da da da. I'm asking myself in a positive manner, what's good about this situation? In any failed or negative situation in life, you could ask yourself that one question, what's good about it? And if you look hard enough, you'll be able to find something positive out of every situation. So again, growth mindset, open mindset, learning mindset. What's good about this situation is I've got to get better at this, or I've got to get a better pitch to hit, or I've got to swing at a ball in the dirt, or I've got to get my release point a little further out so I can spin my breaking ball or change up if you're at that level, or just to get the ball over the plate, I need a better follow through. I need to pick up my target earlier. I need to see the ball all the way to my glove. I need to see the ball all the way to my glove in the air. What's good about it? Asking yourself that question, then you'll get a feedback answer from yourself. So you go, what's good about it is I need to get a better process, or I need to get a better pre-game, pre-at-bat routine, so I'm more focused, so I can get the pitch out of the pitcher's hand sooner, or et cetera, et cetera. You'll come up with your own ideas if you ask yourself that question. What's good about this situation? Even though it's not a positive situation, it's a learning situation. So what you're trying to do is draw out of yourself and by having self-awareness and by being a good self-evaluator, what can I do better next time, or how can I learn from this situation so that I can be better next time? And if you put that into a pre-game or a post-game sort of a routine, it might be that you put it in your preparation that, hey, I'm going to, this is what I want to try and do, this is my process, and if it doesn't, every inning when I come off, I might just ask myself, that question, if I don't execute when I should execute. What's good about this situation is that, hey, I get another chance, I've got 2 more at bats, and I've got a chance to contribute to the ball club. So just being a good self-evaluator and being self-aware and asking yourself that one simple question can really just change things around for you, 360 degrees, a complete opposite. Rather than being down on yourself and carrying that weight for the rest of the game, maybe even to the next day, depending on what level you're playing and how often you're playing, you need to bounce, you need to recover pretty quickly. This game, we play a lot of games. And the higher you get, the more games you're going to play. And you need to bounce and recover really, really quickly. So the other thing is you can get feedback from your coaches and other teammates. As a self-evaluator, not just you evaluating you, but you might ask the coach, hey, coach, in the 5th inning, I tried to drive that guy in from third base without, less than 2 out. I couldn't get it done. What have you got on that situation? I'm trying to learn from that. Is there something I could have done better? And it'll probably come up and say, look, you could have got a better pitch to swing out or hit, which is invariably a lot of the problems when we don't execute offensively. But getting feedback from your coaches, getting feedback from your teammates and your peers is also very important. The other thing is that helps you with failure is just by understanding you can only control what you can control. You can control your work ethic, you can control your effort, you can control your body language, how you carry yourself, you can control how you prepare. you can't always control the ability and the execution process. All you can control is the process and up to that point. And then again, 3 out of 10 times you're going to succeed. And maybe at the lower levels you might get 4 hits out of 10. But the other 5 or 6 are not going to be safe hits, or the other 5 or 6 are not going to be guys that you get out when you're on the mound. So just understand that. And how you carry yourself and how you think about yourself and the language that you tell yourself is super, super important. Because if you continue to tell yourself that I'm this and I'm down and I'm not very good and blah blah blah, and talking negative to myself, well, that's gonna affect something that you can control: your body language and your work ethic and how you go about it and how good a teammate you are. They're really important things of being a good baseballer. The other thing is you want to recover, and I was mentioning it just a minute ago, how you bounce back from that, error at shortstop. You went to come in, aggressively, good body control, and and didn't get the ball cleanly. So you made an error, So you've got to turn the page. Yeah, it's okay to reflect, but not not right there in the middle of the inning. You want to be able to. You could say to yourself, hey, next pitch. Lock in some sort of mental reminder. We talked about little reminders, I think, with our goals last time. But see it off the bat cleanly, or swing and a miss. See it early, best pitch, see it up, see it early, see it late, see it all the way. Whatever you're going to tell yourself, I want the next one hit to me. Be that guy that wants the ball hit to you, as opposed to don't hit to me. I've got the wobbles in my glove today or whatever, and start thinking like that. It's going to affect my body language. I'm going to get small. I'm going to get, sort of crowded over. I'm going to be negative, as opposed to being positive. So recovering fast after when something, when there is failure involved is super important. Turn the page quickly. We all fail. Understand that. It's how quickly do we get over it and bounce back is super, super important. Don't dwell in the negative, all right? And be mentally tough. I think we may have talked about some mental toughness last time. If not, just be mentally tough. You can visualize good situations, in-game situation. You can visualize that. You can visualize you being on the mound, getting guys out all the time. You can be, have also routines that get you out of that negativity, whether it be a breathing routine, easy box breathing, 4 second breath, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale. Do that 4 times. That's a little box breathing technique. I just, inhale, hold 4 seconds, out for 4 seconds. Do it 4 times, and you'll find that your stress level, in that 30 seconds, your stress level will decrease so quickly. That's a quick box breathing technique that can get you out of a stress environment, or I'm all on myself environment, or the pressure's on me environment. Hey, visualize. I've been here before. Also, simulate when you're in trainings. These trainings that we're talking about. Simulate pressure environments, as much as you can, as many times as you can, play games in your mind. These at bats, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, bottom of the 9th, 2 out, man on second, tied game. I'm the guy, I want to be the guy at the plate. Put that pressure on yourself. Then when you get in that situation that weekend or that next game, the next day, whatever, it's like, hey, I've been here 100 times already this week. I know how. I know what it feels like. I've already visualized that. I've played that game in my mind, and here I am in reality, and I'm not stressed about it. But if you do feel like you're going to get stressed, step out, couple of deep breaths, 3 or 4, lock back in, and welcome that, that stress. That's okay. That's all part of being an athlete. It's all part. Everybody gets excited. Everybody gets nervous, and if you welcome it, here come the nerves. All right, here they come. That's okay. Hello, nerves. You've been here before. I know you're going to, make me all tingly, but we're going to deal with this together, and we're just going to get this thing done and move forward and get it done. And if we don't get it done, then understand everything that we talked about today. You can put it into practice. Finally, track. I think a real good thing is to track your progress. All right, journal. I think we talked about that before, writing your goals down. But in this instance, it might be that, hey, look at the things that are happening for you or not for you within the game, and you could write through those things just through some simple journaling, or just in a little book. Got one right here, one of many. Got another one right here, and there's one over in my briefcase. So here I'm on the road. I've got 3 with me right now. So, journaling, getting it out, getting it brain dump, chunk it out, dump it out, purge it out, whatever you want to call it, get it out. If there's negativity there that's holding you back from stuff that's, happened through the game, it's a great opportunity for you to just get it down on paper, and you can look at it and you can go, you know what? This is not going to hold any weight with me anymore, and throw it away. You could have that, whatever it is, whatever's, you're dealing with, you could get it on paper, you could have a ceremonial, dump, purge, if you like, call it whatever you like, and get rid of it out of your life, and move on. It's that simple. Hope some of those things helped out. Gone a little bit over time, but that's pretty typical. Keep being great out there. Keep enjoying. At the end of the day, this is all about having fun. Celebrate the wins. Make sure you go out, celebrate the little wins that you do. Hey, I got a backhand and made an accurate throw. That's awesome. Hey, I got a guy over. I was able to hit a long line drive somewhere, or made an outstanding catch in the outfield, or great backhand play up the middle, or scooped the ball up first, or whatever. Celebrate those little wins. Celebrate the little wins and the big wins. Celebrate them all. All right. Keep being great. I'll catch up with you in another few weeks, hopefully. Ben Moore's doing an awesome job. Keep supporting this program and keep loving being out there training in the winter programs. And hopefully I'll see you out in the baseball field soon. Tony Harris signing off. Take care.